Tonight, from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports. The San Francisco 49ers taking on the Buffalo Bills.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback from Wyoming. It's Josh Allen.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah. How
does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out. By a few inches, that'll be a first down.
What I enjoyed most about watching Devin Singletary as a rookie, and he had a nice campaign, 775 yards on the ground and a rushing average in the top 5 in the league last year, is that what I saw in college transferred to the NFL. Continued to make the first tackler miss, whether he's in the hole or on the perimeter. I expect him to get to 1,000 yards rushing this season.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back.
Last week was getting these negative.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen, and he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw, it's Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep, Trent Taylor. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. We call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. So here are the 49ers now with a long field ahead. They'll be led out by their quarterback. Back in the NFL for the first time since 2016, it's Colin Kaepernick.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball. Run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
In his own end zone, it's Kaepernick. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll walk him back half the distance. So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Here's Coleman. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. Well, look at the numbers for Coleman in last week's game. 12 carries, 99 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
On 2nd down, here's Kaepernick. Flush to his right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
They'll run for the first time with Jerick McKinnon. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Kaepernick now to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
Kaepernick's pass complete to Tevin Coleman. No gain on that.
They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And that will be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
So return is Taylor. 13 yards, the tally on the return there. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They begin things in much better field position than their opening drive as they come up 1st and 10. On play action, it's Kaepernick. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They're going to run the sweep. It's Samuel. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think that's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. Clock running under a minute to go in a scoreless first quarter. On 1st down, Kaepernick eluding the pressure right. And this is incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Kaepernick. And he finds the tight end, Reed. Yeah, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
And less than a yard.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. They were going for it on 4th and inches, now 4th and 5.
Yeah, everything had built to a crescendo, hadn't it? 4th and inches. I mean, we were coming out of our chairs up here. Now on 4th and 5, you've got to think about whether you want to go for it or not.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. A beautiful fake. We're scoreless after 1.
With no score.
The Bills with a football as we start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
A gain of 29 yards.
And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
And the next-gen stats show him reaching at a top speed of 20 miles an hour. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Javon Kinlaw, the big D tackle there to bring him down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And that's caught by Beasley. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Allen to Beasley, 1st down, Buffalo. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Going for it all. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As his guys are on the board first here tonight. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Point after here coming up. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. This is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A 6 yard.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. This offense thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit. Let them catch their breath.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, Allen. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Tyler Kroft, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit. 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to get him. And that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon. And guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 3rd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Kaepernick. Escaping the pressure right. He'll let this go deep for Bourne. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he'll let this go deep for Bourne. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
No pain, no gain.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession, and he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. First down, Allen. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs. As the first half is winding down. And the Bills will extend their lead. So there is the big arm of Josh Allen on display. He can throw it as deep as anybody, and that was an absolute laser.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And you can see in the next-gen stats, that one 62 yards in the air. Here's Bass now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now Colin Kaepernick and the offense heading back out onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They go play action here on first down. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was the Falcons who were able to pick up the victory at home. 17-13 was the final. From there, we take the long trip across the country, about as far as you can go. Check on the Seahawks in Seattle. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. 38-14, the final score. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Willie Snead leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. In the game you're watching, it was Josh Allen who was on target in that first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front. As we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
But they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Well, the second down throw on target. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was looking for the rookie Brandon Ayuk. And now it's second down.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Obviously, this has not been a bad game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Throwing is Kaepernick on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Say what you want, but Kaepernick still doing that as the scramble gets him a first.
Kaepernick was looking to throw, but then it became decision time. And he certainly had room to run. He made the right decision to pull it down there, and he winds up picking up the first down.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. Taking a shot for Samuel. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak. And while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close. But the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Coleman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. The quarterback, Josh Allen, the focus of our players' spotlight. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the linemen, It seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And the next-gen stats reveal what we just saw. He had no chance to throw there as he was on the turf within about a second and a half. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They will run with Singletary. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. An excellent run there coming from that line.
We used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook, and I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter. As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield because nowadays most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
Kaepernick again here on 2nd and 10. Again looking for Samuel, this time the catch made. And it's a fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
The passer defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Allen. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now a run with Singletary. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. From the gun, Allen. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Yards to go.
Now Allen. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
The kick by pass is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0.
49ers nothing.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
G. James on the return. The Niners take over 1st and 10. At their own 9.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they had to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Kaepernick. Flushed out right. Gets this one to Juszczyk. Give him 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Ed Oliver, that time, the one to get in there and bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, They've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. The Niners will go for it. It's Kaepernick. Out to the left here to Reed. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
Missile damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've run the ball 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On the ground, it's Singletary. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Kaepernick. And this is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Play action. Now Kaepernick. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
49ers nothing.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points.
Kaepernick hit, fumble. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Singletary. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Singletary again. He will push his way down to about the 14. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They go right back to Singletary. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the 2nd half. The kick by Bass is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further.
49ers nothing.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
25-yard line.
The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. But it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Caught on the right side, Reed. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Open man is born, and he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Kaepernick to throw again. Flush to his right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Nice game there, partner. But you might both know that would do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
I'm coming after you.
Kaepernick now on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Samuel bringing in the slant. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 21. Well, now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
I got you,
Throwing on 1st down is Kaepernick. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. And the Bills are going to recover. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
I almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Buffalo, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Niners, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7.
And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.
The Chiefs are heading back to defend their title as we say so long from snowy Baltimore and welcome to Madden NFL 21.